Hi everyone, and welcome. I'm Victoria Jennings, and this is Taking Care of Business, and we're proudly sponsored by Entrepreneurs Building Success. And that's what we all want to do, isn't it? We want to build our success and build it by design, not by happenstance. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking to you about the power of authority and how to become the go-to expert in your industry. It's something that I did extremely well in my other business, IPS Institute. I'll talk about that today because I don't know if a lot of you know, but I'm kind of retired now and I'm doing this for fun in my retirement. Okay, but I've got a whole career behind me and I'll probably share a fair bit of that background with you today and building, multiple seven-figure per annum business. So I want you also to hang around to the very end because at the end I'm going to be announcing something extremely exciting that's happening only in here in Taking Care of Business on the 15th of July. I'm doing a special workshop and I'm going to announce that at the end. So please hang around and find out what that's all about. You'll be hearing more about it in the coming days leading up to it. But I'm excited about it and I can't wait to bring it to you. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So I've got a question for you to start it off, to kick things off. Do you know, or do your people know who you are? Do they come to you when they need advice or a solution that you offer? Do they know that you're the go-to person for that specific issue or problem? Now, if they do, fantastic, you've done a great job. If they don't, then there's some work to be done. And that's okay because we're on a journey, all right? And my other business is very mature. This business, Entrepreneurs Building Success, is very new. So I walk the path of a mature business and a new business. So I'm actually building my business with those who are building theirs. We're doing it together in real time, which is pretty exciting. Uh, and it's a lot easier second time around because I've learnt a lot on the way, all the way through making mistakes, okay, and sorting it out. So, and I've sorted the roadmap to make it a lot faster. So that's what I'm all about, and that's what I'm known for in this space in Entrepreneurs Business School. But in IPS Institute, I'm known very differently, and I'm known by government. I'm known by a lot of people around the country because I've done a lot of project work where I've actually, been invited to speak and speak at conferences and, I've done all of that sort of thing. I've also lectured at university in adult education to undergrad and postgrad. I mean, I have done a lot of stuff. I'm not a spring chicken, so I've done a lot of stuff along the way that absolutely nailed my authority in my industry to the point where I was also known overseas as well by reputation. Okay, so that takes time to build that reputation. And also, your reputation is something that you can't build it overnight, but it can be destroyed overnight if you do something wrong in the public space, particularly. All right, so be aware of that too, because one thing that goes wrong can be a ripple effect throughout your whole business. So you need to make sure that you've got all of that in check, and I'll talk more about that in a moment too. So we're going to unpack today how to be that real authority, the kind that magnetizes clients and premium opportunities, and the network that you get around you is a network that you build by design, as I teach in my programs, right? You build your network by design because you want to have people who are going to be your advocates in your network, right? and they're going to come up with opportunities for you to undertake. And that has happened to me so many times in my other business, particularly. This business, not as much at the moment because it's a lot younger, all right? And I'm getting known in this space now rather than being the adult educator expert in other spaces that I've been involved in. But I'm doing the same things that I did, getting that awareness in the marketplace of who I am and what I do. And now I don't do it so much face to face, I do it online. And one of the wonderful things about being in other Facebook groups, particularly in this space, is that people often will mention that they've got an issue or a problem and they ask for people to help them out and give them some advice. That is a fantastic way to start getting credibility in your space, in your industry, in your sector, in your niche, okay, by helping others, because they're going to be so grateful. They're going to talk about you. They're not going to forget your name. And they may end up being a client of yours as well, because it gives you a chance to shine. So we used to do this in physical networking events where you would go, and some people still do this today, of course, depending on your profile and whether that's in your wheelhouse or not. It's not in mine because I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. Some people can't believe that when I say that, but I am. And so that's not my jam. I don't really enjoy doing the physical networking, never did enjoy it because it's not me. Okay, but I really do enjoy, because I'm more of an introvert, I really enjoy making those connections in the Facebook groups and in my group, and doing it through direct messaging tools, etc. I love doing that, okay? And then I love getting on a one-on-one. Because I'm that introvert, I prefer the one-on-ones, right? So yeah, it's really interesting how things have changed or are changing. But it depends on you, and nothing is right or wrong. And I really want everyone to get this, that doing the things from the way you need to do it is the right way. Because I hear people, ask me questions, what's the right way, what's the wrong way of doing this? There is no right or wrong way. There is only the way that's in alignment with who you are. And, you know, unfortunately, at school and university and all of these other places that we've attended, they tend to make being an introvert a bad thing and being an extrovert the way everyone needs to be. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. The best way to be successful is to be authentic to you first, okay? And only focus on the strategies that support you and who you are, because that's going to be an easy pathway to not only your business and creating wealth, but also to have authority in your own space and to be that go-to expert person, because it's natural to who you are. And I'm all about organic, and I'm all about being natural and showing up in a genuine way. There's so much fakeness in the world today that being genuine is becoming unique. I hate to say that, but it is. It's becoming very unique. So be more you. And how you do that is to make sure that you're in one of the 4 authority anchors to start with. All right. So the strategic anchor is for those people who love to influence others and bring everyone to their vision and everything to them, anything that has significance to them, they can really talk about and be the authority in. And that's where I come from. I come from the strategic identity. All right. I'm a huge, huge business strategist, very visionary, to my detriment sometimes, because I can see it, feel it, touch it, and then I get bored with it because it hasn't happened. Right. So that can be an issue, but I'm aware of it, and awareness is, you win the game when you're aware. It's not being aware of these things where you struggle. All right. So, and then there's other people are coming from the communication authority anchor. And so they are all about message to market. They're fantastic at that. They can talk their socks off, very extrovert, love being with people, always around people, and fantastic cheerleaders. So that's the way they'll do it, through cheerleading. I'll do it through innovation, or strategics will do it through innovation. Communicators will do it through conversation, right? Whatever that conversation might be. And then we've got the implementers, and they're going to be the ones who will do it through action. So you can physically see and they can show you what they've done, what they've achieved, because they're all about getting things done. And then you've got the logicals, okay, and they're going to show you through their systems and what they've implemented, their success, how they're successful. And that's where they'll be coming from with their authority piece. All right. Anchor number 2 is to define the category of one. So you solve one problem and you hone in on that one problem. This is what we call niching. People always saying niche down because that's where the gold is. And it is, because if we don't niche down, and my little niche is a roadmap to building wealth and success, right, through a business. Okay, that's my niche. That's what I do. That's what I stick with, because that's what I know. And I can talk about that until the cows come home. I will never run out of content, because that's the whole basis of who I am, right? And that's where you've got to get to. What's the whole basis of who you are, right? What is it that you can speak on for hours and hours and hours on end? That someone can come up to you and say, oh, look, our speaker has called in sick and they can't come. Could you please fill in? Could you do us a big favor and fill in for us? And they give you like 20 minutes notice. All right. What is that thing that you can talk on with 20 minutes notice and talk on it for half an hour minimum? What's that thing? Because that's where your authority will be based. I guarantee it. Okay. Anchor number 3 is you have visible credibility. So authority isn't built in the dark, it's built under a light. And people shining a light on you, others shining a light on you, right? So that means teaching in lives like this. That might mean sharing your clients' stories and testimonials about how you've helped them in the way that you've helped them, or show the frameworks that you are passionate about and that have worked for you. And this is all about, your authority is all about what's worked for you, not what you put together on ChatGPT, right? This is your essence we're talking about. This is what makes you you and makes you unique. And you could be a marketing person and you say there's so many marketing people, but there'll be a niche of marketing that you undertake and you do so well, right? That's your niche. And I think there's lots of examples of that, but there's the way you do things is your niche, okay, and unique to you. And then anchor number 4 is your strategic network. So these are as I said, networking by design is something we teach, okay, and make sure you've got advisors, financial people you can go to, and you've got your team, and then you've got your colleagues and your peers, right? But you've also got your mentors, and I have mentors today, right? I'm retired basically, but I still have mentors. I still have people that I engage with to help me in things that I can't see because of the profile that I am, and I need some assistance, because even if I engage other consultants to help me, which I do, all right, I need to know the questions to ask them, and I won't know the questions to ask them if I haven't had a mentor to help me understand the questions that I need to ask these people, right, to make sure I'm getting the best value back from them. So that's why I'm saying your network is so important, but you build it by design. You have the people, you invite the people in that you want to have in your network. all right? And you know you go to your network first because you nurture that network as well, all right? And you can go to them. You might be, I've got a business opportunity in the United States, right? I don't have the money. I know you do. Can you come in a partnership with me and do this thing with me? Okay, that's powerful. And you can have someone who's willing to do that within 24 hours. You know, you've got an opportunity and you've done it together because of the network that you've created. All right, so really, really important. I call it designing $1 million network because that's what you want. That's what you need. Okay, so now what do I mean by authority, and how do you go about building that? So I'm going to give the example of my other business because in this business I'm still building my authority. All right, I'm with you guys. I'm in the trenches with you in this business, okay? But I know how to do it because I've already done it, and I'm doing that. And so in my other business, right, I worked in the government to start with in my expertise field area in adult education. And I worked first of all as a teacher, and then I worked as a curriculum designer, and then I went into leading in different industries, different industry sectors. And then I designed the national training package framework for our country. I did that as a project. So that was probably the project that was a catalyst for me. It got me in front of a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people understood my knowledge. A whole lot of people understood my expertise. And so that was the point when people started coming to me. And I stopped chasing them because they really knew everything about me at that point and knew what I was capable of doing. That was when I was invited to lecture, do lectures at university because of that project and what I had accomplished in that project. And the other thing that I will say is I always say yes to these invites, and I work out how I'm going to do it after I've said yes. All right. So here's another example. You might know or not know, but I'm going to tell you again. IPS Institute is niched in the civil construction industry. Now, for my overseas friends in the USA, that's public works. You call it public works, okay? So it's how to build roads, tunnels and bridges. That's what we specialize in. And this is teaching the guys how to, run the machines, and that's what we do. Now, you might think, I'm a very feminine woman. I love being a feminine woman. And it would be, that's really strange that we ended up in that niche. Well, yes, it is really strange that we ended up in that niche. How did we end up in that niche? Well, I was known for my frontline management programs originally when I started my business college, because it was only a business college when I started. We didn't have any trade college whatsoever. And so I was all about business. I was the one that was doing that course. I think we also did training and development, if I remember rightly. We had that as well. But frontline management was our signature program, flagship. I didn't have a sales team. I didn't need to, because everyone came to me and asked to do the program for their organizations. All right. So that was really cool. It was great. It was awesome. And I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And in the beginning, I did everything. I did the sales. I did the admin. I did the teaching. I did the whole lot, right? And built the business from there. But because we had such a strong reputation in frontline management, because I had my network built in government and industry, all the different industries knew who I was as well, because I'd also worked on another project previously across all schooling sectors, so the private, the independent, and the public school sector. They all knew me as well, because I did a national project in Queensland about bringing school-based apprenticeships into the schooling sector, and I worked on that. So a lot of people knew me from that as well. All right, and remember, I chose to do these projects very strategically to position myself as the authority in the space. It was very deliberate. Okay. So because it was so deliberate, a lot of people in the right places knew about me, knew who I was, and knew what I was capable of. And it doesn't mean, you can't be not good. You've got to be excellent. You've got to be the best of the best for this to start working. All right. And so what happened was the construction industry approached me and said, "You've done such a fantastic job with frontline management. We've got a new program, a new qualification that's about to be rolled out." And it was the Certificate 4 in Civil Construction Supervision, which we still have on our scope today. But it was the catalyst for my business, because Construction Skills said they'd given it to the public provider as a project and they'd absolutely decimated it. It was a flop. It didn't work. It was in real trouble. And this was so needed in the industry that they just needed to get it out. So they said to me, "We'll give you 400 students." And this is going back years and years. I'm going back 15 years or so, maybe more. We'll give you 400 students at $4,000 a head, which in those days was really good, excellent money, if you would roll this out for us. And the reason they asked me was because half of the program was actually frontline management modules that I was known as the expert for. Okay. The other half was industry related. So I had to partner with a trainer, a specialist trainer in the civil construction industry who could help me build the program. And that was fine. So I did that, and they were going to teach it. I wasn't going to be teaching it because I know nothing about civil construction, right? But I knew a lot about supervision, and supervision is supervision across industry. But I didn't have the expertise to deliver it, and I wouldn't pretend to. Okay. So I made sure I had someone that I could partner with to do that. So we did that. It was super successful. It was rolled out throughout Queensland. It meant that I got to talk with every civil construction company in Queensland because they all wanted to do it and have their supervisors trained in this brand new qualification. Okay. So that then had people coming to me from the construction company saying, "Wow, you've done such a wonderful job with our supervisors. Can you do Certificate 3 in pipelaying? Can you do Certificate 3 in road construction and maintenance? Can you?" And it went on and on and on and on. That is how we became niched down to the civil construction industry, by invitation, because of our reputation. And that's what I'm talking about for you. That's what you've got to create in your businesses. You've got to create and put yourself in that place of being that specialist, of being that go-to person, of being the one where people will come and knock on your door. And how you do that in your business will depend on the industry that you're in, and it will depend on the profile that you are and the most comfortable way for you to do that, the most authentic way for you to do that. But I encourage you to start doing it, to start positioning yourself, to do some guest speaking sessions with other people, to go on Facebook Live and talk about your area with another influencer or another course creator or another, person in a complementary field, right? Where you're not treading on each other's toes and you're not in competition, but you're in collaboration. So start doing those things. Start getting your name out there. Or if you're more at the introvert side, start doing blogs and things like that, where you can get people to read what you're all about, right? So again, whether you're extrovert or introvert, there are different ways to do this. And I would encourage you to start doing that and map out, have an authority map it out, what that would look like to be the go-to expert in your field, whatever that might look like. Map it out and put it in your business plan, amend your business plan to include it so that you can start doing that and being the real authority. Because guess what, guys? in this world of ChatGPT and all the shortcuts that we now have and the 5-minute attention span most people have nowadays, it's the people who are opposite to that who are going to be the winners. Because everyone's going to find out real quick, real soon, that there's a lot of fake people out there. And they'll be dropped like hot potatoes because people will be able to see through them eventually. They might not be able to see through them straight away, but eventually it will show up. And those people will disappear from the marketplace. So get your genuineness in check now and be genuine, be yourself. It's always, always, my whole career, whether I was working for someone else or whether I was working in my businesses, or working on my businesses, it's always been my strength, being authentic and saying no if I couldn't do something, right? Or suggesting we put a partner in to help with XYZ component of it. Always being genuine, always being authentic, always coming from truth. Always, always, always. I won't teach you anything that I haven't done myself. That's my promise to you. You will only be taught things from me that I've been able to prove work. And that leads me into a beautiful segue right now, which is to talk about this special thing that I've got coming up for you. A lot of people right across industry who do a conversation to close a sale. So that could be, a coach doing strategy calls, wherever you've got face-to-face sales happening. They often struggle with closing simply because, not because their offer's no good, not because they're a terrible salesperson, but simply because they don't understand the perspective that their buyer, their prospect is coming from. They don't couch everything in their prospective customers or clients' eyes. They couch everything in the sales process through the perspective of how they like to be sold to. And there are 4 ways to be sold to. There are 4 ways that we make buying decisions. And it happens to relate to the profiles. Funny that everything relates back to the profiles, right? And so what I've decided to do is a live workshop. It's a special workshop, not our normal live like today, but a special workshop for you to come. And it's called Prospects Buying Style, the Zone of Genius Sales Plan. Okay, it's on the 15th of July. It's going to be at 9:30 a.m. here in Taking Care of Business. But I would encourage you to make sure you are there. I would encourage you that if you've got any other entrepreneurs who sell this way, you invite them to come in, okay, and listen to it. We'll be doing our own marketing, of course, around all of this as well. But it's something that is vital because, guys, you are leaving 75% of revenue on the table because you're not selling the 4 different ways. And this is for your marketing material as well, not just your sales process. It's also for your marketing material to be structured this way. All right. Some people like the shorthand version of what you've got to sell, and they'll make a decision based on that. Others, they want 24 hours to think about it, do their own research, and really go into it before they make a decision. And if you pressure them or get them or try to get them to make a decision while they're on that call with you, they're going to say no. And you think it's a hard no, and so you often don't go back to them. All right. So this is gold. This, on the 15th of July, that I'm going to give you is absolute gold, and it's free. It's free for you to come. And it's a glimpse of what I actually do in my Roadmap to Means Bootcamp as well. Okay. So you're going to walk away knowing exactly how to align the way you sell with your prospects and their buying triggers. Okay? It's only available in here. And I really encourage you to come, and do it live if you can. 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. You can look it up. There are various platforms where you can look up what that time zone is for you. If it works for you, and I understand sometimes it doesn't, but if it works for you, then I really encourage you to be here. You'll hear more about it in the coming days because I'm going to be posting things about it in the group. But I'm really excited about it to offer it to you. And it's something that is, and it's really helped me in my whole life because I've known this for a long time. And it helps me in IPS Institute and our sales team because we know how to implement this as well and who we're talking to and what their buying triggers are and what's important to them to make that decision. All right. It's like a cheat sheet. It's not unethical. It's talking in their language. That's all. Seeing it from their perspective and making sure we are talking their language so that they can hear it how they need to hear it to make a decision, an informed decision, rather than shutting it down without any consideration. Okay, which a lot of them do. So if you think this might be of interest to you, I encourage you to come along on the 15th of July at 9:30 a.m. to Taking Care of Business. In the meantime, the usual Thursday lives, these lives will still be continuing, of course, but this is going to be a special one, and I really want to make sure you don't miss it, and you're there for that too. All right, everyone, have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week or in the other groups and our group, talking with you, chatting with you. I'm DMing. I'm in the DMs with a lot of you at the moment, especially the new ones. Welcome to all the new people. Please make sure you do a post with a picture of yourself and tell us what you do, because this is a great networking opportunity here in this group too. And I'm all about that. I'm all about collaboration. I'm all about helping each other. I'm not precious about, I don't believe in competition. I never believe in it, right? So please introduce yourself. Let everyone know what you're doing. Also, tell us what your profile is, because then we can align with people who we need to have on our team in the complementary profiles that we've got. And you might be able to swap some skills. You won't have to swap some money, especially those our startup people, right? You can swap skills in the beginning and get other things done. So I encourage everyone to do that as well. This is your space, right? I've created it for you. So take advantage of that. Interact. Get on there. Do some posting. I encourage it. All right? Fantastic, everyone. See you next week. And don't forget, put the 15th, 9:30 a.m. in your calendars about a completely different way to sell to your prospects. Okay. Cheers. See you then.